Hello and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to tell you a story about the ugly duckling. So let's begin. So once upon a time there was a mother duck. The mother duck laid a few eggs and built a beautiful nest around those eggs to keep it warm while she sat on it. She sat on those eggs, keeping it warm, and one by one few of the eggs hatched few months later, and there was the biggest egg left, and out of that biggest egg popped a ugly duckling. The duckling looked ugly and it had scruffy feathers. Those other ducklings had beautiful, soft, and also they were very cute. But this one was bigger and also it was scuffier. But it was more tougher and also it swam better. Even though the mother duckling was very disgusted by its ugliness, but she still said that she will love all of them equally because they are all her sons or her ducklings. And so after that, the next day she took all of the ducklings to the nearby pond and took them to their first swimming lesson, and there they swam. All of the ducklings swam very badly because it was their first time, but the ugly duckling swam so beautifully that her mother thought that ugly duckling is a swan, but she thought that a duck can never lay a swan egg. So after this, his afterthought went away. He took all of the ducklings to the duck coop, and in that duck coop there were many gooses and many ducks that made fun of that ugly duckling. Even though the mother loved him very much, as the ugly duckling could not bear these compliments and the negative eyes that he had on him. So he one day escaped out of that duck coop, and also he went far away from that place, and after that he lived in a marsh, but after the marsh she could not find any food, and the hunters came there, so he had to run. And so after that he went to plains, and then finally he went to a swamp, and when he went to a swamp he could finally swim, and also he can finally find some food. Few days went by, and now winter was getting closer, and so the weather has gotten even colder. It was almost unbearable, but he bared it, and also he went through winter with a tough soul. But even though his body was breaking apart, there were layers of snow all over his wings, feathers, and bodies. He did not have a permanent home. He always had to live in others' home, and sometimes he would have a permanent home for a few days, but other times he would have to live in other people's houses. Suddenly a farmer found him and took him in, but the farmer's children and his wife were too violent, so it scared him, and then he knocked a milk bucket. So after that the farmer's wife scared him away, and all of this went away, and finally when one sun set, he saw that there were beautiful ducks that were flying over him, and he thought that one day he might fly like them, and they were going to the warmer part of earth like usually birds do. And so he bared the winter, as I said before, with a tough soul. And then after the winter went away, he saw that his wings had grown, and also the layers of snow had melted today, even though it was quite cold. But suddenly a flock of swans surrounded him and told him that he was a beautiful and fine looking swan indeed. And after this he was amazed and saw that he was actually a swan. He was looking beautiful and fine indeed. All of the other swans complimented him, and then he saw that he finally had friends and people that were complimenting his beauty in his own way, and they also looked like him, and they all told him that all of them were told ugly and they would never be famous, but now they are the symbol of love and also the symbol of love in birds. And so this is the end of our video. So tata and goodbye, see you tomorrow again.